So here's a look at just what we're going to be making in Generateblocks and the Generatepress theme. So I actually found it quite awkward when I first was learning how to use these two tools, how to have a full width background colour with a section inside which follows a specified container width. So you can see here, that's what we've got. That's what I'll show you today. This is using the free version of the theme and the free version of Generateblocks. So no need to pay for nothing. And let's dive in and I'll show you how to get these simple hero sections set up. Right, so literally the only thing that I've done just now is I've installed the Generatepress theme and I've activated that, and then if we come to plugins, the only plugin I've got is Generateblocks. This is the free version, and also the theme is the free version as well. I haven't got any paid versions here, so you can do all this for free. So first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to get rid of the sidebars. So if we come to, not site identity, if we come to layout and we do container, it's not in here, it's in sidebars, sorry. And we just set all these to no sidebars. We just want a page without any sidebars. And then if we come to colours, we want to get rid of this grey background. So that's actually in body. We can set this to white, and then you'll see this is all blending together and you can't see the outlines of the content section. And I'm also going to set the content width just a little bit wider. I'm going to set that to 1400. So now I'm quite happy with that, and I'm going to go ahead and start on the hero section. So for that, if we come in to pages, and I'll just add a new page, and this can be my home. So now what we want to do first of all is come into the right hand side here, and you see this content container. This is basically for you to declare whether you want the content on the page to take the full width or you want it to be contained within that. Remember, I just set the container to be 1400 pixels wide. So actually for the hero section we want to build, we're going to set this to full width because we still want the image of the hero section to be the full width. The text and everything, we don't want that to be the full width, obviously, because it's not very nice looking, but it's also not very user friendly if the text is running right up to the edge of the web page. And I'm going to disable the content title just so that this home text doesn't appear. So with that, I'll just publish quickly and click view page, and we can see where we're at. So we've got nothing on the page. We're hiding that title like we just said. So we want to make use of Generateblocks. So we generate blocks, we get containers and we get grids. For the hero section, what we want to do is we want to add one container, thank you, and a button that I missed a lot when I was first learning how to use Generateblocks. This align button here, if you want it to be the full width, this container, so we want it to run right up to the edge, we want to select full width in here. Then we can click this button to insert an inner container. So if we click that, we've now got a container within a container. And if we leave this as none, then that will stick to the container width that we declared as 1400 pixels. And we can double check that here. If we come into sizing on the right hand side, we can see here it's set to the global. So from here, we can, let's add a background image. We click on the first container here, that's going to be our full width one, so we want the image to be the full width. Come into our media library here, we can select this lovely image, and we can see here that it runs the full width. So just to show you, I'll click update and I'll come refresh, and look at that. That's actually because we don't have any content in here, so there's no height to it. So instead of trying to be smart, why don't we just start adding some content. So let's add in here a headline. We can make this our H1 and we'll set the text to white. And let's just type in here Explore Europe and we'll center it. And then if we duplicate this again, and we can just add some text. So we've got a little bit of text now, and if we click the three dots here and we select insert after, we can then put a slash and button. And I actually prefer, if you're not using the paid version of Generateblocks, I prefer the default buttons because it's a lot easier to style them globally. So then we can move this in the middle by coming to the right and clicking justify item center. And then we'll just add some text in here, browse. So we can update this, come to the preview, and you can see it's the full width, the image, and we've got the text in the middle. It's obviously a wee bit squashed, so why don't we add some padding there to the inside container. So we can add some padding in here. Why don't we do 150 by 150. And there we go, that's looking okay. Now the problem here is we've got a bit of the text is very hard to see, so why don't we go ahead and we can just add a wee gradient onto the image so the text stands out. Right, so let's go ahead and add a gradient in then. So what we want to do first is come back into the page and click edit page so that you're on the editor if you're not already. We want to come to the inside container and go to the Z index. And this is going to be a simple website, so you can set it to anything. If you're doing lots of things with your Z index, then obviously be careful here, but I'm just going to set it to 5. As long as it's higher than 1, you'll be alright. So then if we come back to the customizer here, and we're going to want to add some additional CSS. So I've got some CSS here I'm going to copy in, which basically just adjusts the positioning of the hero image and applies a gradient, and I'll put that in the description so you can see now it's a wee bit more stand out. This is just a random gradient that I got from cssgradient.io, by the way, so if you're looking to build a gradient, come here and just take the CSS and chuck it in. Now if you're not seeing this, that's because I missed a step. You want to go to your editor and go to the top container that's the full width, and if you come all the way down on the right hand side to advanced, add a CSS class page-hero or whatever you want it to be, and use that in your additional CSS here in the customizer. And that button looks a little bit shit, so again, if we go to the main menu in the customizer, go to colors, and we come to buttons, and you can just set it here, nice and easy. We'll just set it to like I don't know. Oh, that's nice. Lovely. So that's how you can do your hero section one way with Generatepress. I'm going to show you another way now, just in case you don't want this image being full width. So what we'll do is we'll come back in here and we'll just use this existing one. We could even just duplicate it, so you can just click the 3 dots, duplicate that. Now we've got 2. We'll come to the first one and we'll just add a margin underneath to, I don't know, 200 pixels, just to split them out to make it a wee bit easier to work with. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come to the second one and click to select the second container, which is the contained container if you're still following me there. And we will come to the button, and if you hit return, you've got a new paragraph. You can then do / and we're going to do a grid. So then this is going to be a 2-column grid because we're going to have the image on one side and the text on the other. So we can click the 2-column, and this has been dead funny lately. You need to click it twice. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, I'm going to take everything from the text and the button and put it in the first container. What you'll see with the grid is we've got 2 containers here, and they've both got a grid item width, which is 50% for both of them right now. So they're both split evenly across this container. So I'm just going to put all this into the first one. And what I'll do is I will left align it all, and that will make it just a wee bit prettier. Now if we come to the top container, we can get rid of this image. So just click here and delete it all. But let's add just a little faint background. Even something like this grey might do the job. What I'm going to do though is get rid of this class so that we don't have that gradient. Now if we come to this second container, we can add our image in. We'll just use the same image. Now, if we save that and we take a look, we can see here that even though this background colour is taking up the full width, our text and our image are still confined to the container, which we set to be 1400 at the start of the video. So these are just some really simple, easy ways to go about setting up a full width container with child sections inside which follow a certain width. So hopefully this can serve as a reference point if you need to set something like this up in the future. So thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you next time.